Abigail Blackrick today at the Cherry Capital Airport speaking with Brian Edwards, an airport operations supervisor and trainer and owner of Piper, Northern Michigan's most famous dog. Brian, who is Piper?
Piper is our wildlife control K-9. He's a wildlife manager. What we use him for is to chase away birds and all sorts of animals and keep them away from the runways and taxiways. Anything we don't want to touch an aircraft is what he keeps away for us.
Terrific. So when did you guys bring Piper onto the team?
Piper started officially last year in January, so he's been at it a little bit more than a year.
Terrific. So he's a Border Collie, right? Why did you guys choose Border Collie as the breed?
Well, Border Collies are bred to herd sheep, so herding birds is a natural extension of what they do. It's in their blood. This is exactly what they do.
So here at an airport, obviously you don't want birds flying into the aircraft, but what other reasons was bringing Piper onto the team deemed necessary?
Well, Piper's our biggest tool in the toolbox now, so anytime you add more tools, it makes every other tool more effective. So that's number one. And obviously number two, the public relations aspect of it. People have been great, want to meet him, get pictures with him, keeps morale high with the airport employees. They love playing ball with him at lunchtime. So it's a multifaceted approach. He's got a lot of talents.
So with Piper being around the office, does he just sit there all day and then after a long days of work, where does he go?
Piper's my dog, so he comes home with me. We work 4 10-hour shifts a week on a rotating basis. So he's not out running around for 10 hours, but he gets plenty of breaks. But afterwards, yes, we like to explore Northern Michigan, hike and do all that stuff, but he sleeps really well at home.
Awesome. So how was the responsibilities that Piper takes care of now, how were they taken care of previously before he got brought onto this team?
Well, the primary method we used for control before Piper, and we still use now, is a pyrotechnics gun that fires off firecrackers called bird bangers and bird screamers. They just make loud noises. So the loud noises scare away the birds and other animals. We'll trap if we have to. Anything that's non-lethal is what we try to do. But by bringing Piper on, he's a non-lethal threat, but birds and animals deem him as a threat because they don't want anything chasing him, right? So they make Piper makes every other tool we have more effective because we're using them less.
That makes sense. So with Piper, he's one of few in the country and the only one in Michigan.
Yep.
You guys are the only airport that's using this technique. Why is that? Why aren't other airports jumping on board?
Well, it's very complicated. There's a lot of cost involved, logistics, especially when governments are involved. But that's why Piper and I are unique, is that he's my dog and Piper is a volunteer. I volunteered him for it, but this is his dream job. So it's worked out for everybody, myself, the airport, and the region.
So he's been doing this for now almost a year and a half. And do you think that once Piper retires and he's done all that he could, do you think you'll get another dog to do his job?
I hope so. I think the program's been really effective so far, like you said, in a little over a year, coming up on a year and a half. So hopefully that's a couple of years down the road. Yeah. I don't really want to think about that right now. But yeah, of course, if it's successful and the airport director thinks it's successful, which I think he has, then of course we're going to look into continuing the program with another dog.
Great. So Brian, with Piper, you were the brains behind training him and you did all of the labor and all of that. So can you give us a little run through on what went into training a dog to do such great work?
Sure. Well, most of it, because like I said, Border Collies are bred for this type of work, most of it revolves around off-leash control and really good obedience. So he has to be able to listen to me at any time, even in the midst of a chase. If he starts going in a direction I don't want him to, that I call his name and he stops. So that was most of the training, and we were doing it just as something fun to do. So I didn't have a target date set that we were going to be trained up by this time. This wasn't my full-time job training him. So it took us about a year and a half to get to a point where I thought Piper was to a point where I could bring it to the airport director and I knew he could perform.
So, Brian, is there anything else that you'd like people to know out there about Piper the K-9 at this airport?
Yeah, sure. We have an open door, so anybody who wants to come by, obviously can't hamper our work, but you're more than welcome to send us a message through social media. We have a website, Facebook, Instagram. Our website is airportk9.org. And Facebook and Instagram is at Airport K-9. You can send us a message through there. Come say hi, get your picture. Anybody that's flying through the Cherry Capital Airport can send us a message. We'll come to the terminal and say hi, get pictures. It's been really great. I love having him here with me. I get to spend every day with my dog, and watching him do work is the most fulfilling thing in my life. It's been great.
That's amazing. And Piper's right over here. And can we bring him over to show the audience? Okay.
Hi.
Come here, Piper. Oh, look at him. The cutest goggles. Piper, say bye. I'm Abigail Blackrick at the Traverse City Airport with Piper, the Airport K-9.